I've zeroed my X, I've zeroed my Y, I've zeroed my Z. I'm going to flip on my router. I have my G code for my grid in. I'm going to hit start job. I'm in Vcarve Pro. You can do this on desktop or Aspire or a host of other software. I'm going to choose to set up my job, and when I set up my job, I'm going to put in the dimensions of my grid that I want on my spoil board rather than my spoil board. In my case, I'm going to do 680 by 360. For the depth, you can put the depth of whatever your spoil board is. Then we're going to go ahead and put our date in position. In my case, I'm going to put on the bottom left-hand side. I definitely want to zero off the material surface, and I'm going to click OK. Now that we set up our job dimensions, I want you to go to the top right-hand side and turn on grid snapping. It looks like a little piece of graph paper. If it's not already clicked, click on it. When you do, you should see a series of dots appear across the screen. If you hit F4 on your keyboard, it should bring up a menu. This is the snapping options. And in particular, what we want to pay attention with is the snap to grid. If it's not already there, click on it. And we're going to use this to set our spacing. Let me illustrate by first putting in a spacing of 50 millimeters and hitting the enter button. When I do, what it's done is it's shifted those dots so they're every 50 millimeters up and down all the way across our surface. I'm hitting F4 again because I don't really want to use that wide of spacing for my grid lines. I would prefer to use 20 millimeters. So I'm going to put 20 in. If I don't hit enter, I have access with my mouse to go down to other things, and I want to drag across a snapping radius to around 12. That's going to give me lots of margin for when we make our polylines, and I'll show you what that means here in a second. But once you have this, go ahead and click OK, and you will see that you have a series of dots spread all the way across. Then it's just a matter of going to the left-hand side and clicking on the Polyline tool, and we're going to create a series of lines all the way on here by left-clicking and working our way all the way through points. And if you hover over the points, you're going to see that the icon will change. That way you don't end up getting off. If you do manage to mess it up, like I messed it up deliberately there, just go over to the left-hand side, click undo, and it'll back you up one point. You want to wind all the way through and do all your lines for your vertical. It doesn't take very long. Now we're on the far right-hand corner, but our original was here. If we hit tab, it would put a line right across our board, which we definitely don't want. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit the space bar, and that will terminate that polyline. We now have all our vertical lines evenly spaced across our grid. I'm going to hit close. I'm going to go back into the Polyline tool, and we're going to repeat that same process with the polyline, only this time we're going to do horizontal. So we're creating a new vector, so I'm going to go far left, left click, and once again, even though you can't see those dots so well, they will light up. And I'm going to wind my way through my spoil board again. And obviously, you could have put the spacing whatever you wanted on here. Oops, I got to back up 2 spots. I didn't quite get that one. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure I get that top line too. Once again, I'm in that predicament that I don't really want to go back to my starting point and end the polyline. So hit the space bar, and that will terminate a polyline in the middle. We now have our grid. I'm going to close that out. It's time to set up our tool paths. The tool path button is on the top right-hand side. I'm going to go ahead and click on the thumbnail here so that it doesn't slip off. To go ahead and click on the vertical ones first. So I've selected all the vertical vectors. I'm going to go to the profile toolpath, and I'm going to set up a profile toolpath. I'm going to start at a start depth of 0, and I'm going to do a cut depth of just 0.4 millimeters. This is important that you've already surfaced your spoil board. Then we're going to select our bit, I'm going to choose a V-bit. I'm going to use a 60. If I want to change the speeds, you can ramp the speed up quite a bit because it's just barely scratching the surface. So feel free to adjust the speed with the edit button. That won't save it inside your tool database, but allow you to run this very, very quickly. Definitely want to do line on. I'm going to call this vertical V-bit grid lines. Depth of cut is going to be 0.4 millimeters. Calculate. There's our vertical ones. I'm going to close that out. Let's go get our horizontal ones, going back to the 2D view. I'm going to select my other vector here. I'll turn this other one off so we don't confuse ourselves. Go in here. Everything should already be set up from our last one, so I have all my information, same process. I'm just going to change the name of this to horizontal grid lines. Calculate. So we have a separate one. Now I'm going to select both of those. I'm going to reset my preview, and I'm going to preview the visible toolpaths. By doing it this way, it's going to run one vector all the way through, and then it will go get the other one. And that way you don't have your machine get confused and start doing little squares, which takes forever to machine. That's another reason why we didn't do it like an array copy of a single square. The machine time would be astronomically greater than it's going to be with this. This is extremely efficient. So with that being said, let's go ahead and preview the visible toolpaths. So let me rotate this ever so slightly so you can get a little better view of it. Maybe I'll speed it up. My camera's being recorded at the same time, so it's slowing this down quite a bit. And now here comes my horizontal path. And there's our grid lines, and every one of those squares is going to be 20 millimeters by 20 millimeters. Let's see how long that would have taken in order to do this. If I select both of these, go in, and it says it would take 21 minutes, but it's got a scale factor of 2 on the time. Because I'm not doing a bunch of up-down movements, it's probably going to be total time of maybe 10 minutes. And then the only thing we have to do is, with those two selected, we're going to go into our Save Toolpaths. So since we're using the same V-bit, we can go ahead and save the visible toolpaths in one file, and that way our CNC machine will do the vertical ones, and it'll immediately follow up by doing the horizontal. That makes it so that the 0 point was the exact same spot for both of them. There's no chance of that getting messed up. I'm going to save this, and we're going to go to our CNC, and we're going to actually mill this out, and we'll have our grid lines on. Then all we need to do is we need to put some sort of square on the outside. I'll probably put that as a separate video here shortly so that we can keep this reasonably short. So I'm ready to run my grid, but when I do my 0, 0 location for my grid lines, I want it slightly different than the 0, 0 location that I would expect it to be on my spoil board. Why would I do such a thing? I do such a thing because if I'm putting these new boards down and one of them gets twisted just a little bit when I'm screwing it down, that will give me margin as I go up this far side and margin as I go across this way to get a good reference line. Otherwise it might go off into space and then I have nowhere to reference against the far edge of my board. So better to be in a little bit and up a little bit. Just make sure that you have sufficient room to run it. I've already set my 0x and 0y for this location rather than that location right there. And now I'm going to go ahead and slip a playing card in here. I've got it set for precise control. Slowly move this down. So I'm just getting tension right there. I'm going to stop and hit Z0. I'm going to raise up my bit. And so my X reads 0, my Y reads 0, my Z reads 0. I've checked my spoil board to make sure that I don't have any screws or threaded inserts or T-rail that bit is going to hit. I'm going to load up my G-code and I'm going to hit run. I'm going to flip on my router. I'm going to hit start job. I ended up moving the depth down to 0.55 millimeters with a 60-degree V-bit, and that gave me thick enough lines that I thought I could see them pretty well. I'm happy with that. So my grid lines are set on my spoil board to help me line up boards, and I'm glad I did, because this outside piece was a little bit out of square, so I wouldn't want to go against this far edge. I'd actually want to go against this grid line here. The other boards were very, very good, so that's why we did it the way we did it.